There was a time when Republican presidential candidates were invited on Saturday Night Live because we thought it was a good thing to like make fun of each other or talk. That's the biggest, most corrosive thing that's happened, and it's nice to see that hopefully repaired. Of course, it must end in the woke moment. The woke moment is about silencing people. And so this is a very positive and good thing, but I got to tell you, Greg Gutfeld got the best of Bill Maher here. Let's begin. The opening shot across the bow. Trump the next insurrectionist.
Benny Johnson slams Bill Maher for his blatant lies and hypocrisy in this clip from The Benny Show, as Bill Maher appeared on Greg Gutfeld's show Gutfeld and spewed more lies about Donald Trump and the election, all the while neglecting what Democrats have done. And Benny Johnson isn't having it, because the only way you kill a lie is you have to keep pointing it out. And that's exactly what Benny Johnson does in this video, reacting to Bill Maher. Let's watch.
Show on Fox News. Bill Maher, Greg Gutfeld clash on Fox News. We got agree on some things, but not the most important thing. I think that Greg Gutfeld definitely got the best of Bill Maher, and I got to tell you, these clips are really inspiring to me because they show what happens when there's a power dynamic shift and when logic and a freedom, the opinion of freedom first, is overbalanced against leftist tyranny. Bill Maher representing left-wing tyranny and Trump derangement syndrome, and he was outnumbered, and that's awesome. It's all across all of media. The opposite is true. You'll never see Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, anybody bring on anyone they might even remotely disagree with. There was a time when Republican presidential candidates were invited on Saturday Night Live because we thought it was a good thing to like make fun of each other or talk. That's the biggest, most corrosive thing that's happened, and it's nice to see that hopefully repaired. Of course, it must end in the woke moment. The woke moment is about silencing people. And so this is a very positive and good thing, but I got to tell you, Greg Gutfeld got the best of Bill Maher here. Let's begin. The opening shot across the bow. Trump the next insurrectionist. Here we go.
On the scales, New York Times bestseller author, Fox News contributor, Captain. Welcome to the show, Bill.
Thank you.
So far, so fun?
I have a few quibs.
Okay, go for it. Quib away, Mr. Quib.
Well, I mean, I agree that it's great that we're talking. I agree that we agree on some things. We're not exactly aligned on the most important things, which is basically Trump is someone who does not concede elections. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You don't seem to see it that way. That's the most important thing that's going on in this country. He didn't concede the last election. He's not going to concede this election.
You don't know that. You don't see into the future, Bill. I don't see your crystal ball.
Yeah, I did, because I was the only one who was talking about that way back when, and everybody said, "Oh, you smoke too much pot." Turned out I smoked just the right amount of pot.
There's no right amount.
But can you really picture this guy going, "You know what? I lost. That's it."
He did. He left.
He left because he had to leave, because he couldn't.
Yes, but that's how it works.
Well,
what do you think he's going to like board up the White House? Pull a straw dogs with Dustin Hoffman?
Well, last time,
one thing that Benny Johnson said was absolutely true is the fact that, seeing Bill Maher outnumbered by a bunch of other people who don't agree with him is a viewpoint that you never see on the other side. It's always one conservative, one Republican, one someone else, and then everyone else is just left, far left, whatever, and they just drown him out, talk him down, shame him, basically just use him as a punching bag, right? They never try to make it fair at all. So Benny Johnson is absolutely right about that. They used to do that way back in the day, but for the last 15 years, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's always been a one-sided, but that's the narrative. And now at least you can see Bill Maher coming on to Gutfeld into, I guess to say, I don't know, enemy territory, and actually trying to have a conversation, because he used to have a show, I think it was like Politically Incorrect, I think it was, and that was actually decent until he got fired for something he said. But that was one of the last shows, but I mean, that was like 25 years ago, something like that. But folks, Gutfeld is exactly right in talking to Bill Maher, in that this is how it works. Like, Bill Maher is still stuck on this point in his TDS, in that Trump, still wouldn't, concede the election. Okay, he didn't concede the election. Maybe he didn't, but you know what? He left willingly on his own accord. He didn't have to get escorted out or forced out. He left. So he can have a difference of opinion, but did he actually do the thing that he was supposed to do? Yes. And Bill Maher just still can't get over this point. But let me know in the comments what you think so far. Leave a like. Let's get back in.
He thought the other Republicans would back him up. when he called that guy in Georgia and said, I need 11,000 votes. I want you to find them.
He said find. He didn't say create. He said find.
Well, that's the same thing.
No, it's not. You don't say on an Easter egg
Find
hunt,
them
I want you to create some Easter eggs.
We have a show here.
All right, Dr. Drew.
Okay.
Boys. I mean, my favorite show of television ever to do was Politically Incorrect.
Which you stole. This is exactly what it looked like, except the difference was Politically Incorrect was purposely mixing people with different viewpoints.
Which is what we're doing.
Tonight.
Yes. This is why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No.
It's such a important exchange there. So that salvo is really important. So let's jump into it. So the first thing that Bill Maher says is that Donald Trump didn't concede. Well, nobody conceded the George W. Bush election. We have hours of footage of Democrats saying that Al Gore won that election, that it was stolen, including presidents like Bill Clinton saying that it was stolen, Terry McAuliffe saying it was stolen, Hillary Clinton saying it was stolen, Joe Biden saying it was stolen. So they didn't concede that election. They contested that election. And then they contested Donald Trump's election in 2016. And all those members of Congress still exist. So Bill Maher is, again, using different measuring sticks for different parties. He didn't call out Hillary Clinton when Hillary Clinton said that she's the president. He didn't call out Stacey Abrams when she said she's the governor of Georgia. So Bill Maher wants to have it both ways. And then he wants to silence. And this is what I think is really important. This is why Bill Maher, he might speak out against the woke, but it's just a shtick. He doesn't actually believe any of that stuff. He is the woke. Bill Maher doesn't want concession from Donald Trump. Donald Trump left office and handed over power. That's the way it's supposed to work. There's nothing in the Constitution that says you have to get on your knees and grovel. Bill Maher wants Donald Trump, wants to break Donald Trump, and wants to humiliate Donald Trump, and wants to force words into Donald Trump's mouth. That's woke. That's forcing speech. Bill Maher is a fraud. He has full-blown Trump derangement syndrome. And this is a proof positive. Because the constitutional mechanisms worked. Donald Trump handed over power. Okay? And then the government went, horribly so, to Joe Biden. And the results have been disastrous.
And I remember what Benny Johnson is talking about, especially with Al Gore. Him and Bush, that was a huge thing. I mean, that took months. There was recount after recount. That was case battle after case battle. That was huge, right? I mean, for those who are old enough to remember, that was a very significant thing when that happened. And then, yeah, I mean, Bill Maher wants to use, as Benny Johnson said, different measuring sticks, because the same things have happened on the left, and yet Trump's different. Like, they all left office, they all went willingly, they all exited the same way as they were supposed to. But yet, Bill Maher wants to look at Donald Trump in a completely different fashion, as opposed to all the people that, Benny Johnson is talking about, and treat them, the different way, different ways. But have we really seen anything different in years past on the left? It's always rules for thee, but not for me, right, folks? I mean, that's the way I remember, especially during Joe Biden's entire presidency, which, as Benny Johnson also described, which has been an utter and complete disaster, as now he pardons his son along with all the other corrupt people that acted along with him. But folks, let me know in the comments what you thought, and what you thought about what Benny Johnson had to say to Bill Maher's woke TDS madness. Thanks for watching. Take care, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.